Thank you for joining us today for our graduation. And good evening. I am thrilled to be here today as co-president of Class 41, Signature Class with Taylor. Today is a milestone. It's a moment for us to remember and celebrate not only the journey we've taken, but the possibilities that lie ahead. As Class 41 stands before you, we do so with gratitude, excitement, and a deep sense of purpose. On behalf of our entire class, first, I would like to thank and acknowledge those who came before us, the alumni who paved the way, setting the standard for leadership, service, and impact. Thank you for helping plan our program days and sharing your stories, and thank you to Class 40 for paying it forward with starting the funds on our philanthropy project. To the incredible Leadership Akron team, you guys are amazing. You deserve a round of applause. So, your unwavering support, guidance, and belief in our potential have been invaluable. You've challenged us to think differently, embrace growth, and see leadership not as a title, but as a responsibility. You've reminded us that leadership is not about standing alone, but about bringing others along on that journey. And leadership starts with caring deeply and showing up fully. We'd also like to thank our families, colleagues, and organizations that we all work for their support and empowerment throughout our journey. Our families who dropped off the kids when we had to be at a program day, came home in the middle of the day to let the dog out because we weren't available to do that job that we might normally do, or planned dinner that night while we were out embracing our program days and our out of classes experiences or chasing goats on Route 8. Happened, true story. To our colleagues who covered for us at work when we were not available because we were at a program day, and to the companies and boards of directors, not only for their generosity of their financial support, but also for seeing that ultimate value of this experience, because it truly does take a village to accomplish what I think we've accomplished over the past year. I started this journey with maybe a little bit of trepidation, a little bit of imposter syndrome. I think we talked about that on our first day together, and I was wondering, oh my gosh, I'm just a biologist. Where do I fit in all of this, and how do I contribute with all of these amazing people that are in the room? I mean, Joan, I was in awe of you the first time I met you. I think you're an amazing person. Michael Miller, every time you talk, I learn, in your value that you brought to the class and helping me personally understand things in our community was amazing. Yeah. And then there's Mallory. Who remembers Mallory's poetry? Oh my gosh, like so amazing, right? And by the way, Mallory, you still owe us the writing of the written version, please, of the poem you did at closing retreat, because that was amazing. How could I measure up to these amazing people? But then I started meeting more people throughout my journey. Mike, we met before we were even selected. Thank goodness we were both chosen, because I thoroughly enjoy going through this journey with you. Brooks, we met pretty early on too, and what a joy to see, there's other people who know what it means to be a dance mom and have kids and be crazy, right? So I'm starting to feel more comfortable. And then there's Kim, my first bus buddy, and the person I didn't drown when we went canoeing. So I have to stop there, because otherwise I could go throughout our entire program year and call out every single one of you, but we would be here over the 4 minutes that we were allotted each to talk. So Now, as the newest and best class ever, we want to talk a little bit about our class motto, which is, "We've only just begun." We've come to recognize that this isn't the end of our leadership journey, it is the beginning. We now have a responsibility to move collectively from awareness to action, to lean in with courage, humility, and heart, to positively impact our community, to be willing to learn and listen and lead from a place of purpose. We came together as individuals, each with our own aspirations and perspectives, but through the challenges and lessons and our shared moments, we emerged as a collective force bound by a greater vision for our beloved city. We will take those moments, turn them into momentum, and create movement together, I am confident. Leadership is an ongoing pursuit, a dedication to progress, inclusion, innovation, and a relentless drive to create meaningful change. And I think that we all come away from this experience having learned that. As Henry said, you don't need a title to make an impact, just passion, purpose, and a whole lot of love for people. I have love for people, and I know our fellow classmates also have deep love for all of the people in our class and in our community. So we are confident the best is yet to come, and I invite Taylor to come say a few words about what this journey has meant to him.
Don't steal my speech. Yeah.
I'm not. There you go.
Okay, so I'm incredibly honored to be standing here. Henry, Justin, the Leadership Akron team, they do incredible work. And we are here because of the 40 classes that have built the program, the city, brick by brick over the last 4 decades, which is incredible. My name's Taylor Papernick, and I asked for a little bit of grace here because I'm feeling a little sentimental. My wife gave me a tissue just in case. So on those opening retreat days and the closing retreat nights, you have to be open, you have to be honest, you have to be vulnerable, and it really does show through. So I'll actually go back to speech now. So I'm energized by rooms like these. It's opportunities, it's challenges. There's an incredible energy amongst not only Class 41, but all of the work that everybody else does here. And my class in particular, they know that I love coffee and having candid conversations bright and early in the morning. Mike has always been a willing participant at 6:30 in the morning. I think I've got Brooks for maybe 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Most of you sitting over there I've tracked down at some point, but if I haven't, you're on the list. But there was one coffee conversation that really stood out with Audrey. And she simply asked, "What fills your cup?" And I said, what an incredible question. And frankly, I wasn't ready for the response. I didn't know what to say. But reflecting on the journey, at the onset of Leadership Akron, the answer was much more simplistic. My incredible wife, our dog, work, travel, fly fishing, and in retrospect, those are all things that are private and or solitary. Today, however, I'm proud to say that Leadership Akron has made me, and I believe the rest of our class, incredibly more aware, engaged, and purposeful as community-driven leaders. Before I close, I want to make sure that we acknowledge that we are better people today because of the work that Leadership Akron does. There's a few quips and quotes that the class has become used to hearing from me, and some of them are Henryisms, as he sits back here, which Anna tried to acknowledge a couple of. And someone earlier in this evening said, "A room full of strangers to a room full of family." How often in life do you get the opportunity for a spontaneous start with 40 talented, motivated, incredible people? And to further that, how often do you leave saying that they're family? Each Leadership Akron class is a family. I can't think of a more incredible gift. Another Henryism is, what's the contribution to the thing that you're complaining or concerned about? It's easy to talk about anything. Poverty, social determinants of health, finances, big issues, local issues. But as a candid question, what are any of us actually going to do about each of those issues? Not just for our self-interest, but for the betterment of society, for the betterment of Akron. Our class is committed to taking on the philanthropy project with the goal of raising $75,000 to fund 3 different community initiatives. The first of which is a community leadership scholarship. We want to partner with Akron Community Foundation to establish a donor-advised fund to fund an annual scholarship for an individual or an organization that otherwise would not be able to participate in the Leadership Akron program. We also have an RFP out for outstanding through the month of June. Brittany, which I can't see where you're at over all those lights, but she's done an incredible job spearheading our philanthropy. There we go, Brittany. She's done an incredible job spearheading our philanthropy committee, and she's guiding the RFP process, which is going to be dedicated to funding social service initiatives and education initiatives, both internally and externally. So I challenge each of you to walk alongside us in whatever way you can and support the cause, the initiative, and the betterment of Akron. I have one quick short story that resonated with me a couple years ago, and I hope that it resonates with you as well. So I was at a conference, and there was a dynamic speaker on stage, and he asked the crowd, "What makes you feel alive? What's your favorite thing in the world?" He went on to give a personal example. It was opening his fishing camp every day, the first day of spring. He got to run around, smell the spring air, run around his property, check out his cabin, observe the wildlife. And then he paused. And he was introspective about how much time he has in his life left. He recently had turned 60, and he recognized that he was likely only going to have 15, maybe 20 more days like that in the rest of his life, that he'd be able to have that jubilation, the tranquility, the curiosity about life. 15 days. Apply that to all of our lives. What do you love? What action makes you most happy? Who are the people that mean the most to you? Let that sink in. How many days do you really get with them? I reference the story because time is fickle and nothing is promised for any of us today, let alone tomorrow. From day to day, life moves slow. However, years move incredibly fast. I think we can most acknowledge that. So I have a candid question for everyone here. What will people say about the quality of our collective humanity after we are gone? What will people say? And with one last challenge, I reach out that every single one of us in this room make the time to spend with those that we love, to build new family. Class 41, that's right. Extend a hand to the stranger in need and make an impact in our community while we're alive to see it. Don't wait. And as Henry so eloquently states, another Henryism, to wrap us up, the true meaning of life is to plant trees whose shade you will never sit under. Let that resonate for a minute. So, in closing, to the family you're born with and the family you choose, thank you.